What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I want to start something right here, right now. Something called Does It Hold Up? I want to watch these movies that I used to watch and I loved from my childhood, and I want to rewatch them now as an adult, and I want to see if they hold up. I want to see if the ones that I enjoyed and watched over and over again, if I'm going to enjoy them again at my age now. First up, Casper. Casper is a 1995 film that was directed by Brad Silberling. And the plot. The plot is we follow this father and daughter who move to this town. They move into this big, ginormous house. And the father, played by Bill Pullman, he is trying to investigate paranormal activities, ghosts, because of his wife who passed. He wants to contact her. The daughter just wants to try to be normal, live a normal life, but it's really hard. And you come to find out that the house that they live in has a ghost! Ghost! Three are just complete a-holes, douchebags, just horrible type of the ghosts that you can think of. But one, named Casper, is very friendly. He's the friendliest of ghosts, and he just wants to not only help them, make them want to stay here, but he develops a little bit of a crush on Kat, Christina Ricci. Can't say I blame him. Now, what I think of Casper, and does it hold up? Yes, it does. I think this holds up very, very well. I still enjoy this movie. I still have a lot of fun rewatching this. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say that this is the first time I've rewatched it since I was a kid. I've watched this a bunch of times, even before that. But it's one of those movies that I used to have on VHS. I used to watch over and over again whenever I go through my collection and pick out movies to watch on that day. This would be a go-to, for sure. And rewatching it now, it seemed like it was... Because you have your kids' movies that are overly goofy, overly dumbed down because they think kids are dumb, so they bring the material what they think is down to their level. But here's a movie that I think is at a level that is comprehensible for kids, that you can go along with as far as the afterlife and dead and the ghosts and everything that comes into that. But I think there's enough for adults to get behind too. Even an adult who grew up from being a kid and watching this, but now gets to see so much more that's going on with the plot. Christina Ricci, like I said, plays Kat, and Christina Ricci was definitely one of my first celebrity crushes. Probably top 3, maybe, just behind the Pink Power Ranger. Jennifer Love Hewitt was up there, maybe even Topanga. But okay, fine, top 4. She was definitely in the top celebrity crushes. I would watch these movies being a kid and saying, yes, I like her. Not just because she was attractive, but I mean her personality in this movie and how she wants to fit in, sure, but she also isn't afraid to be herself and show herself, especially when she brings all these kids to her house for the Halloween party and everything that goes on there. Everything that has to do with her mother and her father. Her father, played by Bill Pullman, who I like what his story is. I like what his goal is. I like that he wants to find his wife, Amelia. Everything revolves around her. Everything that he cares about is wanting to meet her again. And the older I get, the more I can sympathize and understand where he's coming from, why this is so important to him, especially the one scene that he finally does get to meet her and talk to her. Very touching. Kathy Moriarty plays Kerrigan. She's the villain. Even though we have 3 horrible, mean ghosts, like I said before, Kerrigan is the villain. She's the one who wants to come into this house and find treasure. She's convinced that there is treasure left by the family previously, and she'll do anything that she can to find it and do so. Her and her sidekick Dibs, very comical. Obviously Kerrigan is, like, this actress is very over the top, is very goofy, and the two of them going back and forth, yes, it's silly, but I think it was funny on a lot of occasions. They're the butt of the jokes most of the time, so I think that works as well. And I very much like where both of their stories end up. I'm not going to get too much into it. I know most people have probably seen Casper. I know it's silly to make it sound like I'm trying to keep spoilers away, but just, just for the sake of it, I do like where the stories end up and how it relates to the afterlife and the dead and the unfinished business. I love the 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 myth, the lore that's built up, the mythology that's built up when it comes to ghosts in that way. Some of the other cast, a lot of cameos in this movie. Ben Stein, I mean, I'll say this every time he shows up in these 90s movies. He's in every single 90s movie that I watched as a kid. Dan Aykroyd might have one of the better cameos in this film. Who are you going to call? Someone else. Great moment. Rodney Dangerfield, Clint Eastwood, when the three ghosts pretend to be other people, live people, and they do that. I don't know how they got those actors to show up. Especially Clint Eastwood. Maybe a favor was called. I don't know, but it is very cool. The three ghosts, Stretch, Stinky, and Fatso. Fatso, I didn't even realize until now he's voiced by Brad Garrett. That's pretty cool. But their personalities are very distinguished, very memorable. Each and every one of them has their things about him. And yes, at first, they're horrible ghosts. I was going to say human beings. But they're ghosts, and they're horrible, and they just want to get rid of the family. They want to kick them out. They want to do everything to annoy them. But there's a moment where they start to bond with Bill Pullman there for a little bit, and I appreciated that. That's where they almost came across as human. And so that's where I probably enjoyed them the most. Jessica Wesson plays Amber. She's the typical high school bully, I guess. I want to mention this actress more specifically because I remember seeing her on Boy Meets World playing Wendy, very sweet and nice girl that Corey dates for a couple episodes. She also plays the girlfriend in Home Improvement, and she was always the nice girl in those shows. So seeing her play this horrible person here, not only does it surprise me, but she's too good at playing the bully as well. So of course her getting her comeuppance was very much needed. And Casper himself is lovable, is likable. You can't help but feel for this dude, especially when he's always pining away at Kat, always trying to get her to notice him in that way, but he's dead, and he's always cold when he's trying to lay with her or touch her, and the one moment where he whispers to her, "Can I keep you?" That's a moment. That's a quote. That's the quote of my childhood. And I'll still use that line to this day if it works. Does it work? I don't know, but I'll try it. And he doesn't do the voice of Casper when he's Casper, but when we do see Casper as a human, he's played by Devon Sawa, and I just find that kind of funny. Devon Sawa would later go on to be in Final Destination and other things, and he's very young here, and that moment of them at the party, just good stuff. I think this movie is great. I do. Sure, maybe it's a little bit of a nostalgia, but that's what this is about. I will be honest and say whether these movies don't hold up or if any of them suck. This one does not. This one I still have a lot of fun with. I still enjoy. This has now still become one of my favorite go-to movies to watch around Halloween time, because why not? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!